Mrs. Ferguson, I'm afraid I have some difficult news. The treatments we've been trying, they're not having the impact we hoped for.
Is there something else we can try? Another treatment, a different approach?
I wish I could say yes. But the reality is, your condition is progressing faster than we anticipated. The degeneration in your eyesight. It's likely to continue.
You're saying I'm going to go blind?
It's a possibility we need to prepare for.
I can't even imagine it. How am I supposed to live in darkness?
Losing your sight doesn't mean losing your life, Mrs. Ferguson. It will be different, yes. But it doesn't have to be the end of your dreams. You're strong, and there's so much more ahead of you.
Yeah, it's easy to dish out advice when you're not the one hurting.
Laura, what did the doctor say?
Ferguson. It's not good.
What is it, love? Tell me.
The treatments. They're not working. Dr. Hughes says my eyesight is going to keep getting worse.
Worse? How much worse, Laura?
He said I'm going to lose my sight eventually. Completely.
No. No, there has to be something else. Another doctor, another treatment?
There's nothing else. This is it. I'm going to go blind.
Oh, Laura. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
The stories surrounding your work have been nothing short of extraordinary. People are calling you a miracle worker, someone through whom God performs the impossible. Can you tell us, how do you perceive the nature of these miracles? What do you believe is happening when these healings occur?
I must first clarify that I am merely a vessel, a servant of God. The miracles you speak of are not my doing but the work of the Holy Spirit. It is through faith, pure, unwavering faith, that these healings manifest. When a person surrenders entirely to God, placing their trust in Him, the impossible becomes possible.
It's remarkable to hear the perspective.
There's this beautiful damsel came to one of my miracle healing service. She had breast cancer and wanted prayers. I prayed and prayed for her but nothing happened. It was not until I sat down with her and taught her the teaching of faith and then prayed again with her, immediately, she received her healing. Now she's cancer-free.
But many wonder, why do some receive healing while others do not? Is there a particular reason why certain individuals are chosen?
This is a profound question. Not everyone is healed in the way they might expect, but God's grace works in all situations, often in ways beyond our comprehension. Sometimes, the greatest healing is not the restoration of the body but the transformation of the soul.
That's a powerful insight. For those watching who may be struggling with illness or suffering, what would you say to them? How can they find hope, especially when it feels like all hope is lost?
To those who are suffering, I would say this: come to my church. We will schedule a one-on-one session with you to teach you about faith. When you have grown your faith, then we release healing blessings on you.
Your words will undoubtedly resonate with many viewers tonight. We look forward to hearing more of the stories of hope and healing from your ministry after the short break.
You've got to come see this.
What is it, Ferguson?
There's this man on TV. From Brazil. They're saying he's performed miracles, real miracles. He's cured people's cancers, Laura. Multiple sclerosis. He made people watch who couldn't watch before.
Miracles? Are you serious?
Yes. And he doesn't take any money. He just helps people. They're going to talk about a woman he healed from breast cancer after the break. You've got to see this.
All right. It wouldn't hurt to watch.
What do you think about what we saw on TV tonight? About the man in Brazil?
I've been thinking about it too. I know it sounds crazy, but what if this is our shot? What if this man can help me?
Do you think we should go all the way to Brazil?
What do we have to lose? We've tried everything else. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we take it?
Then we'll go, and we'll see for ourselves. No matter what happens, we'll face it together. You're not alone in this.
Thank you so much, Ferguson.
Mom, Dad, I just don't understand. Why do you have to go all the way to Brazil? There are countless pastors, healers, and men of God right here in the U.S. You can find someone closer to home who can pray for you.
Anna, when we saw this man of God on TV, something about him just felt different.
Yes. He was featured on a well-known show. It wasn't some random person making wild claims. The host vouched for him, and they showed real people who've been healed.
But how do you know he's a real man of God? Just because he was on TV doesn't mean he's genuine.
I know it sounds crazy, but we both felt something when we watched him. It wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. The way he talked about faith, about God's power, it moved us. We believe this is something we have to try.
I understand why you're skeptical, Anna, but maybe your parents need this. Even if it's just the act of trying something different, something that gives them hope.
I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. I just don't want you to get hurt, Mom. I don't want you to go all that way, put your faith in someone, and come back disappointed.
Anna, I know you're worried. But I'm running out of options, and I'm running out of time. If there's even a chance that this could help, I have to take it. I don't want to live the rest of my life wondering if I should have done more.
We've thought this through, Anna. This is something we need to do, for our peace of mind.
If this is what you need to do, then I'll support you. But please, just promise me you'll be careful. And if something doesn't feel right, don't hesitate to come home.
We'll be careful.
We'll be here, praying for you both. And if you need anything while you're gone, just let us know.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
Please try to keep in touch.
We will, sweetheart.
Welcome to Brazil. We are honored to have you here. My name is Mateo, and this is Maria. We will be assisting you during your stay.
Thank you. It's been a long trip. We're just hoping for some rest before everything begins.
Of course. We've prepared this comfortable apartment for you.
Here is some information about our community, including the schedule for our church meetings.
Thank you. This place is lovely. It's more than we expected.
It really is. We're grateful for the hospitality.
We strive to make our guests feel at home. We believe that comfort and peace are essential for those seeking healing.
There are certain events that might seem unusual, but they are a part of our spiritual practice here. Everything is done with the utmost respect for God's will and the healing process.
We'll do our best.
If you wish to have a private session with the man of God, you'll need to fill out this form. Once completed, you'll be assigned a number, which will determine when you'll have your session.
So, it's first come, first served? How long does it usually take to get an appointment?
It varies. Some wait a few days, others longer. But each session is unique and tailored to the individual's needs. Patience is key here, as is trust in God's timing.
I guess we just have to wait and see, then.
Exactly. Rest now, and when you're ready, you can fill out the form. If you have any questions or concerns, we're always here to help.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to this house of healing, where the power of the Almighty flows freely. We are blessed to have you all here, seeking the divine touch that can restore and renew. Tonight, I want to speak to you about the power of healing as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. The Bible tells us that by His stripes, we are healed. But what many do not understand is that this healing requires more than just belief. It requires action, a physical manifestation of faith. The world doesn't understand the mysteries of God. Doctors and scientists cannot grasp the spiritual laws that govern true healing. But here, in this sacred place, we do. The Bible is clear: when we are sick, we must seek out those anointed with the power to heal, to perform the sacred surgeries that remove the spiritual afflictions from our bodies. And now, my dear ones, we come to the time of psychic surgeries. Some of you may not be familiar with this practice, but let me explain. It is a divine act where the physical and spiritual realms intersect, where I, through the power granted to me by the Holy Spirit, perform necessary surgeries to remove the spiritual blockages that cause your physical ailments. These surgeries are not performed with earthly tools, but with spiritual instruments that manifest in the physical. I will use a scalpel, yes, but it is not a blade that heals, it is the power of God flowing through it. As I make the incisions, I will speak the holy incantations that will cleanse your body of disease, pain, and suffering. Now, As we prepare for these sacred surgeries, I will call each of you forward according to the number you have been given. Do not be afraid, for this is the work of the Lord. Come to the stage with an open heart and faith that moves mountains.
Laura, are you sure about this? This seems weird.
Maria already informed us of the unusual practices here. Let's not be bothered about what they do. What matters most is that I receive my healing.
Do not fear, for the Lord is with us. Come, receive your healing.
Good evening, Mom. How is it going over there?
Anna, it's been a strange day. I don't even know how to explain it. The man of God here, he's doing things I've never seen before. Things that don't make any sense.
What do you mean, Mom? What's going on?
He's performing what he calls psychic surgeries. He doesn't use any anesthesia, no sterilization, nothing. He just cuts into people, right there on stage, with a scalpel. And it's not just that, he does the strangest things.
What? No anesthesia? No sterilization? That's insane, Mom. That's not how real surgeries are done.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. He shoves surgical forceps up people's noses to heal them, or scrapes the white of someone's eyeball with a scalpel. And it's not even related to their problem.
That's absolutely horrifying.
Someone will come in with back pain, and he'll say, "Let's scrape your eye with a scalpel. That'll heal you." I'm not going to lie. It's terrifying.
And he claims this works?
Well, what's good about it is that he doesn't take any payment for these healings. But he does accept donations, and he sells things to his followers, such as special healing pills and bottled holy water for around $1,500 each.
$1,500? That's a lot. You need to be careful.
Dear, having my sight restored is worth more than $1,500. I've spent much more than that at the hospital, yet they've not been able to help me.
It's all right, Mom. I hope you receive your healing.
Thank you, Anna. We'll think about everything you've said.
All right, stay safe. And call me if anything happens.
We will. We love you, Anna.
I love you too, Mom. Take care of each other.
I am Jennifer Filippo. I had breast cancer. Doctors said there was nothing more they could do. But then I came here, and the man of God performed his psychic healing on me. I quit all my chemotherapy and every traditional treatment. And now, I stand before you, completely cancer-free.
I guess he stuck those miracle forceps up your nose, and now, her breast cancer's gone.
That's incredible.
Number 62. Come forward and receive the Lord's blessing. It is time for your healing.
Number 62. That's you, Laura. It's time. Good luck, Laura. Go and receive your healing.
I love you too, Ferguson.
Welcome, sister. Do not fear, for the Lord is with us in this holy place. Are you ready to receive his healing touch?
I'm ready.
Good. Now lie down on the surgical table.
Does it hurt?
It hurts, Ferguson. It hurts a whole lot. It's like my eyes are on fire.
I'm so sorry. I wish there was something I could do to take the pain away.
The least the man of God could do was to put us on some pain medication.
Let's try to focus on the bigger picture. If this really works. If you get your eyesight back, then all of this pain, this whole experience, will be worth it.
Yeah. But right now, it's hard to think about anything other than how much it hurts.
I'm going to go get you some painkillers before we start packing for our flight back. You need to be comfortable.
Thank you, Ferguson. I don't know what I'd do without you.
You don't have to worry about that. Just try to rest, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can.
I still don't understand why that man of God let you leave without taking the bandage off. Shouldn't a doctor have checked to see if everything was okay?
We are supposed to leave in faith. The healing has already taken place, the bandage is just a formality.
Well, now that you're home, let's see if it worked. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's get this over with.
I'll help you with that.
I can't see. It's worse, Ferguson. Everything is blurry, and it hurts. It hurts so much.
Maybe it's just...
No, Ferguson. It's worse. I can barely make out shapes. It's all a blur, and the pain. It's unbearable.
Don't panic, Laura. Remember what the man of God said. He told us to use the holy water we bought. We have to keep the faith.
If her eyesight is worse, we need to take her to a real doctor.
We will if we have to. But right now, we need to trust in what we were told. The man of God said the healing process would take time, and that the holy water would help.
Dad, this doesn't feel right. Mom's in pain. What if something went wrong during that surgery?
We can't give up hope now. We've come this far. Let's try the holy water tonight, and if there's no improvement after a few days, we'll go to the doctor.
I don't like this, but if you're set on it, then no arguments.
Mr. D'Souza, you're all set. Please take a seat, and someone will call you shortly to guide you through the process of seeing the doctor.
Thank you.
Hey, does that guy look familiar to you?
Who?
The guy who just checked in. I'm very certain I've seen him somewhere before.
Hold on. You're right, that's him. That's John of God. The famous healer from Brazil. The one who's always on TV talking about his miracles.
You kidding? What's he doing here, at a hospital, asking to see a doctor? Isn't he supposed to be able to heal himself with all those powers he claims to have?
That's what I'm wondering. It doesn't make any sense. Why would someone like him need to see a doctor, especially here in the US?
Maybe he didn't want to be seen getting treatment back in Brazil. Can you imagine the scandal if people over there saw him in a hospital? It would ruin his whole image.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still, why come all the way here? The healthcare costs here are through the roof compared to Brazil. If he swallowed his pride and saw a doctor back home, it would have been way cheaper.
It's cheaper for most people, sure. But he's loaded. I mean, did you hear what he said on TV once? The church he runs is making $14 million a year just from the sales of those miracle pills and holy water. He can afford whatever treatment he needs anywhere he wants to.
$14 million? Just from pills? Wow.
Yeah, but it's kind of ironic, don't you think? A man who claims to heal others with his hands, sneaking into a hospital to get real medical treatment. Makes you wonder how much of what he says is actually true.
Exactly. I guess even miracle workers have their limits.
Mr. D'Souza, I have the results of all the tests and scans we conducted. I'm afraid the news isn't what we were hoping for.
What is it, doctor? What's wrong with me?
You have stomach cancer. The tumor is localized, and fortunately, it hasn't spread to other parts of your body. It's not in an advanced stage yet, which means it's treatable.
I have cancer?
Yes, but I want you to understand that this is not a death sentence. Given the stage of the tumor, we can treat it effectively with surgery and chemotherapy. The sooner we start, the better your chances of a full recovery.
I can't believe this. Cancer?
I understand this is a lot to take in, but it's important that we focus on your treatment. You have a good prognosis, Mr. D'Souza, but we need to act quickly.
Do whatever it takes, doctor. I don't care about the cost, just make me better.
We'll start with scheduling the surgery, and then we'll follow up with a course of chemotherapy. Oh.
There's something else, doctor. No one can know about this, about my condition. It's crucial that this remains confidential. I have responsibilities, a public image to maintain. If people found out, it would ruin everything.
Mr. D'Souza, patient confidentiality is a cornerstone of medical practice. I assure you, your medical information will be kept strictly private. No one outside of this office will know about your diagnosis or treatment.
Thank you, doctor. I'm putting my trust in you.
I will. You're in good hands.
Mom, I need you to look at this. It's all over the news. People are talking about John of God, the healer from Brazil. They're saying he's been spotted at a hospital in the US, getting treatment for stomach cancer. By a regular doctor.
Anna, you know the internet is full of fake news. People will say anything to discredit a man of God. Unless I see physical evidence, like a medical report, I'm not going to believe it.
You know as well as I do that no one can get their hands on a medical report. Patient information is confidential. Hospitals can get sued for leaking anything like that.
But that's exactly why this is so concerning. If the hospital keeps their records private, then how do the public find out about him being there? I'm not going to base my beliefs on gossip.
Mom, there were eyewitnesses. People saw him at the hospital multiple times. And the fact that he's refused to speak to any reporters, doesn't that make you wonder if he's hiding something?
Or maybe he visited the hospital because he's exhausted from being hounded by people who want to tear him down. I've seen how the media twist things. I'm not going to let them make me doubt.
Mom, I'm not trying to bash him or make you doubt your faith. I'm just worried about you. You've been in pain ever since that surgery, and I'm scared your eyes might be infected. You need to see a real doctor.
Anna, I appreciate your concern, but I'd rather go back to the man of God. Many people received their healing. Maybe it's my lack of faith that's stopping me from getting mine.
Mom, please. Don't do this to yourself. I'm scared. I don't want anything to happen to you.
I'll be okay. I believe that with all my heart.
Sahira, your courage in sharing this story is commendable. I want to say to any other woman out there who has had a similar experience, please, don't stay silent. Nothing changes when we keep quiet. If you've been hurt, if you've been violated, speak out. We have hotlines ready to take your call, and we'll do everything we can to help you share your story.
What are you watching, honey? You look really focused.
It's a TV show from Brazil. I stumbled across it while looking up news on John of God. You won't believe what I just heard.
What is it? Did something happen?
They're interviewing a Dutch woman named Zahira. She went to see that faith healer, John of God, for mental trauma, specifically sexual trauma. And he molested her.
Are you serious? That's horrific.
Yeah. She went to him, hoping to heal from past sexual abuse, and he took advantage of her. But because she believed he was genuinely helping others, she kept it to herself for years.
That's sick. How could he do that to someone who was already so vulnerable? That poor woman.
It wasn't until recently that she felt empowered to speak out. She posted her story on Facebook, and it went viral. Now she's on this show, sharing what happened to her, hoping it will help others come forward.
I can't believe this. And to think my mom is still so convinced he's a genuine healer. She needs to know about this.
I agree, but we have to be careful. You know how defensive she's been. If we push too hard, she might start to resent us.
Well, I can't just sit here and do nothing. This might finally make her see the truth.
Alright. But we have to figure out the best way to approach it. Maybe show her Zahira's story, let her see for herself.
Mom. There's something I need you to see.
What is it, Anna? Can it wait? I'm trying to sleep.
I'm afraid it can't. It's about the man of God. The healer from Brazil.
What now? More rumors? More fake news?
Mom, it's not just rumors. There are serious allegations against him. Sexual assault allegations.
Sexual assault? That's ridiculous. People will say anything to tear a good man down.
I know it sounds unbelievable, but you need to hear this. On the first day that a hotline was set up for victims to come forward, nearly 200 women called, claiming he had sexually assaulted them. And in the weeks that followed, even more women came forward. The number of women who say they were assaulted by him is over 600 now.
That's impossible. People lie, they make things up to get attention, or because they think they'll get money if it goes to court. There's no way one man could sexually assault over 600 women.
Mom, 600 women can't all be lying. This isn't just a few isolated accusations, this is a pattern. And if he's found guilty in court?
If he's found guilty, it doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty. Innocent people get declared guilty all the time. You know that. The court system isn't perfect. It's about who has the better lawyer, who can present the most convincing argument, not necessarily about the truth.
Let me be absolutely clear. All these allegations against me are lies. Every single one of those 600 women is lying. This is nothing more than a coordinated attack by the forces of darkness, desperate to discredit the work I've been doing in God's name. And let me address another ridiculous claim. I was never diagnosed with stomach cancer or any other disease. In fact, I haven't set foot in a hospital for over 20 years. Sickness is a sin, and as a servant of God, I am not subject to such sins. The devil is simply stirring up these lies to stop the damage I'm doing to his kingdom.
Thank you for addressing the rumors circulating online about you. Could you share the reason behind your 5-month trip to the U.S.?
The reason I traveled to the United States for 5 months was not for medical treatment, as some have falsely claimed. I was there for self-isolation, a time of spiritual enlightenment and deep communion with God. These accusations are nothing more than the devil's attempt to undermine my ministry and the miracles I have performed in the name of our Lord.
You're saying that all 600 women who have come forward are lying? That none of these allegations have any basis in truth?
Exactly. This is a spiritual battle, not a legal one. The truth will prevail, and those who seek to destroy my work will be exposed for the liars they are.
I told you it was all fake news. I've always known he was innocent. All those women are lying just to bring him down. It's exactly what he said it was. A spiritual attack.
He's just saying what he needs to say to protect himself. You know that, right? He's trying to keep his followers from questioning him.
No, dear, he's telling the truth. The devil is stirring up lies against him because of the good work he's doing. You saw him, he hasn't been sick, he hasn't been to a hospital in 20 years. It's all just a smear campaign.
Well, your eyes are still sore, they haven't healed. If he's so powerful, why haven't you seen any improvement?
Clearly, I need to see him in person again. Maybe there was something wrong with the process, or maybe I didn't have enough faith the first time. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to get my healing.
What if you go back and it just gets worse?
This time, I'll go with even more faith. I'll get the healing I deserve.
Dad, are you not going to say anything?
You brainwashed my daughter, Jennifer. She had breast cancer, and you told her to quit all her treatments, to throw away her medications, because you said you healed her. But you lied. You lied, and now she's dead. She died yesterday, in so much pain, because of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You weren't a man of God, you're a monster, a false prophet. My daughter believed in you, and you let her die. You'll suffer for this, just like she did. You'll die a painful death, just like her.
Guards, get her out of here. Now.
He's a liar. A false prophet. Don't trust him. He'll destroy you like he destroyed my daughter.
Please, make sure no word of this gets out. I don't want to hear about this incident again, understand?
Yes, man of God.
What's that look for, Maria? You think you know better than me? You're just as stupid as your dead mother. Instead of sitting there like an idiot, why don't you get yourself useful and tend to our international guests? Or are you too incompetent for that too?
How did I become complicit in something so vile, so twisted? I used to believe in my father. I was proud of him, proud to be his daughter. But now, all I feel is disgust. Disgust for him, and disgust for myself. I've stood by and watched him manipulate, deceive, and destroy lives for greed, and his own lust for power. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep pretending that everything is fine, that he's the man of God he claims to be. He's not a healer, he's a monster. And I've been part of his charade for too long. It's time for the truth to come out.
Miss Maria, are you saying you were also sexually assaulted by your father, in person of John of God?
That's correct. It happened from when I was 9 till 14. He would tell me that he was healing me, but instead I was being molested. He only stopped molesting me when I was 14 because that's when I got pregnant by another man.
What a horrific experience for anyone to go through, let alone a girl of that age.
It was a really horrific experience, and it traumatizes me till this day.
Do you wish to tell us what happened after that? As in, where's your baby now?
When my dad found out that I was pregnant by another man, he beat me so hard that I lost the baby.
That is despicable.
He is still as mean today as he was then. Even though he no longer beats me, he uses really vile languages with me every single day. My father is a monster.
His own daughter? I can't believe it. How could I have been so blind? How could I have defended him? That monster?
Laura, you couldn't have known. He fooled everyone, his followers, the public, even his own daughter until she found the strength to speak out. It's not your fault.
But I defended him. I believed in him. I put my faith in him. And I even planned to go back, to let him hurt me again. How could I have been so stupid?
You weren't stupid, Laura. You were hurt, desperate for healing, and he took advantage of that. He preyed on people's pain and their hope. That's not on you, that's on him.
You've all seen the interview. His daughter coming forward is the final nail in the coffin. We've got more than enough to move forward.
Yes. We've been gathering evidence for months. This interview just solidifies the case. If we move now, we can catch him before he has time to cover his tracks.
Then let's do it. Issue a warrant for his arrest immediately. I want all available units ready to move.
Yes, sir.
How can I help you?
We have a warrant for the arrest of John of God. Where is he?
I'm not sure where he is right now.
Look, we don't have time for this. If you know where he is, you need to tell us now.
He left. Just a little while ago. He was in such a hurry. He snuck out the back door with a duffel bag in his hand. He didn't even return my greeting. I don't know where he's gone, but he looked like he was running.
Step aside. We have to search this house. Sir, there's no sign of him. Miss, did he say anything? Give any indication of where he might be going?
No, nothing. He just left in a hurry. He seemed desperate.
He's on the run. Spread out and search the area, everyone. Check the roads, the airports, anywhere he could be heading. We need to find him before he slips through our fingers.
Yes, sir.
Chief, we've got a situation. When we arrived at his house, the man of God was already gone. One of the housekeepers confirmed that he snuck out the back door carrying a duffel bag. He left in such a hurry that he didn't even acknowledge her greeting.
Do we have any idea where he might be heading?
We have no information on that at the moment.
Just before he disappeared, he withdrew $9 million from his various bank accounts. We suspect he's planning to use that money to fund his escape and avoid going to jail.
He knows we're after him, and he's trying to slip through our fingers. But I'm not going to let that happen. He's not going to get away with this.
Given the amount of money he took, I believe he'll try to enter another country, likely one without an extradition treaty, so he can avoid prosecution.
Then we need to act fast. Notify Interpol and all border agencies. Put out an international alert. Every port, every airport, every border crossing needs to be on high alert. If he tries to leave the country, I want him caught.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Ferguson, I have to be honest with you. Your eyes are in a very bad condition. The infection is severe, and I'm shocked at how advanced it is. How did this happen?
It's a long story, Doctor. I went to Brazil to see a man of God. He claimed he could heal me, but it was all a lie. He performed what he called a psychic surgery on me, and I was foolish enough to believe in him. I've been in pain ever since, and now I'm so ashamed. I fell for his lies, just like so many others.
I'm sorry you went through that, Mrs. Ferguson. But I'm glad you came, and when you did. If you had waited any longer, you could have lost your eyesight completely.
Why me? Why always me?
Mrs. Ferguson, would you like my opinion on the topic of faith?
Yes, please. I feel so lost. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Are you saved?
Huh?
I mean, have you received Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior?
I don't know. What has that got to do with anything?
Let me be clear, if you were truly born again, not just a churchgoer. I mean being filled with the Spirit of God, and you study your Bible regularly, you would have been able to discern that this man was a fraud. True men of God don't base their entire ministry on miracles alone. They focus on helping their members grow in all aspects of their Christian walk, guiding them from spiritual infancy to maturity in Christ. The Bible warns us about false prophets, those who present a distorted version of the gospel. They might preach prosperity, wealth, and constant miracles, while neglecting the core of the Christian faith, repentance, salvation, and spiritual growth. 2 Peter 2 verse 1.
You mean God does not want me healed? I thought he was all loving.
Don't get me wrong, miracles in themselves aren't bad. In fact, Jesus performed many miracles during his time on earth, but they were always accompanied by teachings about God's kingdom. Miracles should point people to Jesus, not become the end goal. Imagine you were giving someone directions to your house, using a signpost as a reference. But instead of following your directions, they became so enamored with the signpost that they camped around it, taking it as their destination. That's what happens when people focus solely on miracles. They miss the true destination, which is a deeper relationship with Christ.
I see what you mean. But I was desperate. I feel like a fool. I believed him because a popular TV host endorsed him.
I saw the show too. The fact that an unbeliever was the one endorsing him was a red flag in itself.
And then he went on and on about psychic healing.
That's not even biblical and should have been the point where any true believer backs down and say this one is not of God. The Bible say by their fruits we shall know them.
What is going to happen to my eyes now?
I'm glad you came to have it checked out. I'm going to prescribe some medication to treat the infection. Unfortunately, the damage done to your eyesight can't be reversed. Mrs. Ferguson, I don't want you to give up on your quest for healing. You have faith, that much is clear. But like many people, you may have been going about it the wrong way.
What do you mean, Doctor?
You remind me of a story in the book of Acts 14, verses 8 to 10. Paul was preaching in Lystra, and he notices a man who was crippled from birth. Paul perceives that the man has a faith to be healed, and he commands him to stand up, resulting in the man being healed instantly. The passage illustrates the importance of faith in the context of healing and the apostle's ability to discern that faith in others.
I want to be healed. But after everything I've been through, I don't know where to start.
The first step is to surrender your life completely to Jesus. Healing isn't just about the physical, it's about the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. When you surrender to Jesus, you're placing your trust in the one who has all authority in heaven and on earth.
I believe in God, but maybe I haven't truly surrendered everything to Him.
It's never too late to start. As you grow in your walk with God, you'll find that your understanding of healing deepens. It's not just about receiving healing. It's about knowing the healer and understanding the authority He has given to believers.
What do you mean by the authority of believers?
Jesus has given believers authority in His name, to cast out demons, to heal the sick, and to bring the kingdom of God to earth. But this authority isn't something we wield on our own. It's rooted in His finished work on the cross. When Jesus died and rose again, He conquered sin, sickness, and death. As believers, we have access to that power, but it's not something we demand. It's something we receive through faith and understanding of who we are in Christ. Healing is part of the salvation package. But it comes through faith in Jesus and growing in your knowledge of Him. The more you know Jesus, the more you understand what He has done for you, the more you'll see that healing flows naturally from that relationship.
This means I've been looking for healing in the wrong places.
Exactly. Now here's your treatment plan. It will help address the infection in your eyes and to prevent any further damage.
Thank you, doctor.
The antibiotics should clear up the infection. You'll need to apply the prescribed eye drops 4 times a day. And I want you to rest as much as possible, no straining your eyes. And remember, your recovery will take time, so be patient with yourself.
Thank you, doctor. I will. I won't take any chances this time.
Good day, Chief. The wanted man of God has turned himself in.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. He walked into a police station in a neighboring town this afternoon and surrendered. They're bringing him here now.
I see.
I guess he's trying to save face, to control the narrative one last time.
It doesn't matter why. What matters is that he's finally where he belongs. He's in our custody now, and we're going to make sure he stays there until a final verdict is reached in court.
Eventually, the man of God went to trial. He was found guilty and sentenced to a grand total of 489 years in prison. Good for him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel for more content like this.